Hi everyone, and welcome to Crafting Creativity Music Teaching Studio. My name's James Halloran, and I've started creating these videos every week to share with you tips and advice on how to improve your singing. So today the focus is on warming up the voice and how to do so in an effective way, and how to do so in a way that addresses vocal issues that are common. First, it's important to understand why we warm up and the importance of warming up. So for those of you who are singers, you'll already know this. And for those of you who aren't, let's find out. So basically, it's important for us to think of ourselves as athletes when we talk about warming up. Just like an athlete wouldn't run a 5K marathon without warming up the muscles required, we should not be singing without warming up the muscles required for our instrument, or we can do ourselves some serious damage. On top of it being healthy and preventing damage, warming up also makes sure that our voice is in the best place possible to sound as beautiful and full as possible. Without further ado, I'm going to show you 5 of my favorite warm-ups that I've used for years that I found really effective in addressing some of these vocal problems, but also in maintaining a healthy, strong voice. The first warm-up that we're going to look at is a Z to za on a 5-note scale. So this warm-up makes sure that our support junctions are all working, our pelvic floor, our intercostal muscles, and our abdominals. Before we do this exercise, I just want you to try something. I want you to put your fingers here on the side of your abdominal muscles and squeeze in and do a little cough. What you'll feel there are the muscles engaging, and that's really important, and that's the same feeling you want to feel while doing this exercise, especially on the short staccato Z sound. So make sure that's happening as you go through. Now the other thing before we start is it's really important to do these warm-ups standing up. I know that I'm sitting down, but for you guys, it's going to be really important that you do these exercises standing up so that you're fully aware of what your body is doing. So without further ado, let's go. This is the Z to za 5-note scale warm-up. Z, 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 za. So really notice the bounce that's happening there. So this is a great exercise to make sure that we're singing in tune, that our voice is supported, and that we've got a nice, strong, engaged core. Great, so as well as being engaged, the core also needs to be pliable so that when we breathe, we can just let it flop and relax, and that's called a splat breath. But moving on, we'll go to our next exercise now. And this exercise is one of my all-time favorites because it's so effective and addresses so many issues. This exercise is a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise. And what that means is basically that part of the vocal tract remains partially closed, only allowing for a small amount of breath or air to come through. And that's really important because in singing, there's a concept known as the indispensable minimum. And what this means is that the smallest amount of air possible is the correct amount of air to sing that note. So what we're doing is we're restricting the airflow and allowing for only that small amount of air through, meaning that we're using the correct amount of air all the time to sing these notes. So this exercise also will engage those intercostal muscles and the pelvic floor naturally, which is great because we're always going to want to be working on that support there. It's also going to improve our pitch. So basically this exercise is like taking the voice to the gym. If you do it every day, your voice is going to get stronger. It's also known as the straw exercise because you can do it with straw in water. Notice that I am using my metal environmentally friendly straw, so I suggest you do the same if you do want to go down the straw route. All right, so if you are using a straw, what you do is you blow into the straw, trying to make sure that the bubbles are constantly even as you do so. And so you can do this exercise blowing into those bubbles, making sure that they're even, but you can do it without it as well. And to do it without the straw, we just need to go filling our cheeks with all the air as possible, but only letting a small amount through our lips. So you can do this until you start feeling ridiculous. It really is a great exercise, and the great thing about this exercise is there is no way you can damage your voice doing it. You can explore your full range, and no matter what, you're not going to cause yourself any vocal damage because the vocal tract is semi-occluded. Okay, so for our third vocal warm-up, this is a great exercise in projection, in a healthy, supported way. And I teach this to almost all of my students that have issues with getting their voice out. So what we want to do is we're going to start with an imaginary bow and arrow. Yeah. So I often tell my students, my younger ones, to imagine that they're Merida from Brave in this exercise, which is very cute. So you have your bow and arrow, and what you're going to do is you pull the string back, and we're going to act as if we're shooting the arrow to the furthest point on the horizon. For me, that's just between some trees over there in my gorgeous garden. And when we release that arrow, we're releasing a low, strong, supported ha sound. It'll sound something like this. Ha! Great. So give that a try a couple of times, and when you've got the hang of that, we will work it into our warm-up. We'll start with staccato ha, and eventually we'll connect them. And it sounds a bit like this. Ha, 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 then connect it. Ha, so on, so forth. Excellent work. Okay, so our fourth vocal exercise that we're going to be doing is an arpeggio on a major 7th chord, and we're going to sing it on a yep, and this is also going to work the focus of our voice, sometimes also known as twang. Focus of the voice means the direction of the voice and the brilliance that comes out. So it's the difference between a voice sounding like ah and ah. So it gives it that really strong sense of direction. So what we want to do to get that sense of focus is imagine there's a wall between you and your audience, and you're going to sing through a tiny hole in that wall. And that imagery of sending the voice through a hole in the wall should help focus that voice. We're going to do this on a yep and try and pick that major 7th as well. Yep, 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 yep. 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 And you can keep going. So we're now on to our final warm-up for this session. And this is an octave slide warm-up. And this exercise is really great at bridging what's known as the passaggio, which literally means the passage. So we're bridging the passage of our voice from high notes to low notes, and that area where often singers will find cracks, we're smoothing that out. And you want to start in a note that's in your higher register, sliding down to your lower register. So with all these exercises, you can download them from my CD pack on my website, which will be available for purchase very soon, and there are about 20 warm-ups there that you can work your way through with examples and backing tracks. Also, if you sign up to the mailing list below on the website, you will receive a complimentary lesson on tailoring the warm-up to the individual voice. So we're maximizing our warm-up, making sure that we're addressing any individual vocal issues, as well as maximizing the areas of singing that we're already quite strong at. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!